Good, good, good.
Any other questions?
No, what I'd actually like to do right now, Mrs. Sherriot,
Sure.
I know that you do elements of time sometimes for like cascading out like dates for people to pay payroll taxes and things like that. Can you just kind of tell us what you do for sometimes in elements of time? Just as far as like kind of cascading out dates or reminders or different things.
I will put in all of my payroll tax pay dates. So if my payrolls fall generally every other Wednesday, I will put in on my calendar payroll day. And then I also put in my payroll tax due date. At the end of every quarter, like March 31st, I put in a note, end of first quarter 2013. And then of course I simplified it here, January 1 through March 31st, 2013. And I put a note, quarterly taxes due no later than April 30th. I will put in when my sales tax is due. I will put in when my state taxes are due. So my calendar, my elements of time, ends up pretty full because I put it on the company. I work for a company for 24 hours a week. So I put in dates for them on their elements of time. And I can also view their elements of time to kind of keep track of where certain people are at if need be. Sure, I can look at their clock in and clock outs, but if I want a nice visual to just print out and put at my desk, they put in trim crew, where they're at, dates, those locations. Yep, if you give me just a moment, I will.
No problem.
It's a nice tool because a lot of employers put people in a place for a reason to do their payroll, to do their payroll taxes. Some of the employers don't know when the due dates are and such. They take for granted that vetting is going to take care of it. In my opinion, they need to have the knowledge when they're due, so that when I send them an email and say, hey, I'll be by today so we can go over our quarterly reports and let you show what we're looking at and whatnot, it kind of gives them a heads up when things are due, probably pretty close to when they're going to be seeing me, because so many employers or owners, they don't track that. And it's not that they don't care, it's in the back of their mind.
So do they look at the calendar?
They do, the company I work with, but they cross their T's and dot their I's. So, and I'm trying to get the office manager in a nice little routine. You know, this is what's coming up. Yes, I spoil you and I put it on an elements of time for you, but this is what's coming up and this is what you can look forward to for due dates and things like that. So it's a nice, useful tool. Of course, I've asked Brandon to tweak it a hair because I'll be danged if I want to enter payroll every other Wednesday. I want to click a button and I want it to auto-populate every other Wednesday for me. So that's a lot of times what I use elements of time for. I try like crazy to remember Adilas.biz elements of time to let them know where I'm at, and I always forget because I'm bad at that. But it's a nice tool because I can look in notes where Brandon's put in, Steve's put in. It's a huge tool. So
I can take you into Adilas and show you what we use it if you want to see like a live one.
if you show them in 2 seconds, I'll show them
Okay.
last year's calendar of FCC.
Okay. So I'm just going to log out really quick, and I'm going to log in to Adilas. We'll go into Adilas, and I can come in here, and this is the interface that I chose to work under, and so I'll go down to Elements of Time, and I'll go to the Time homepage, and this is our current calendar for this month, just some general pieces of the puzzle. Here's my date as a light little different thing. I know the Colorado training, 792, 792, 792. I have a 3-day training course I'm doing now. If I wanted to click on this and see the additional notes, meeting at the Moose Lodge, number 21 in Denver, like nothing super special. Basically, it has its ID number is 792, so we have 792 of these things. One of the cool things about Elements of Time is you can actually search a number of the pieces of the puzzle. Say you wanted to say, what have we logged under e-commerce? Okay, I have 30 records that actually came back as parts of e-commerce, and depending on what they have, like I'm just going to go like this so you can actually. Okay. So basically, we'll kind of start seeing where did e-commerce kind of show up. Here's a whole idea of like what do we want to do with e-commerce, et cetera, et cetera. Log clear back in 11. Okay. So basically, you just come down and like it allows you to see what else did we want to do with e-commerce. Like we're storing ideas and notes and to-do lists and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, by the way, go see element of time number 7. Like it's just kind of like, hey, there's some more details here. We use it constantly for tons and tons of different pieces of the puzzle. And so it went and did a little search for me and found what actually is underneath that different pieces of the puzzle. I know I'm just scrolling down here. It looks like it's forever. Watch this. Let's go home. So just to the top of the page. One of the things that's pretty handy is actually being able to search by date for elements of time. So let's do 10/23, which is today's date. Go get it. It shows me the details, and it looks to me like there was one that Steve was going to go talk to today. It's assigned to Steve, and at 10 o'clock a.m., looks like on today, he was going to go do a little setup for something that was happening. Okay. There's lots of different ways that we can actually do it. So if I actually hit, why don't we do this just for fun? Why don't we say, what have I got going on tomorrow? Oh, this is what I've got going on tomorrow. Okay. What do I want? What is going to be going on? Details for the week after next. Oh, I currently don't have anything that's in there, but it basically keeps telling me what's going on. Details this week or next week. Oh, just one little small thing. Okay. Basically, you can kind of details this week. What's going on? Like you can. These are all elements of time. Depends on if you want to see them in which mode. This is kind of a cool little piece of the puzzle. Let me show you this real quick. Okay. So all of these pieces right here are currently in our calendar view. If you wanted to see them in the time slot view, you could actually lay them out in the different levels. Where do they hit according to time? Okay. If this is too big for you, or depending on how you're navigating your pages, you could simply just simplify a single one, and then there's just a single day of different pieces that were going to be happening with that particular piece of the puzzle. At any point in time, you can switch. You can switch modes. You can switch whatever. Say I wanted to see grouped for the month of October. Go get it. So this is a totally different look at the elements of time. Which ones are assigned to Steve? Which ones are assigned to Brandon? Which ones are assigned to whatever. What kind of templates were there that were being used? Like this is a grouped version. It kind of shows me some of the different pieces of the puzzle, if you will. So what it allows you to do is you can literally switch between calendar, time slots, groups, or details. If you wanted to see the whole month in detailed mode, you go like this. Here's all my different pieces. Here's my different dates. If I wanted to go to a specific date, so right here, see how it has 10/16? I could literally click on this, and it instantly takes me to that particular date and mode. If I'm actually trying to schedule something, and say it is 10/16, and somebody's like, can you show me what you have in 2 weeks? I can go like this. 2 weeks, go jump, go get it. So it adds 2 weeks to that, whatever that date was that I was on, and I can scroll down. Looks to me like I'm meeting with Marcy and Ryan on this. What time would work good for you? Click, 1 o'clock, add a new template, like whatever I needed to do, and all of a sudden I'm right in here, and it's going to pull in those dates and times, and so I can start modifying things and start manipulating pieces of the puzzle. So we bill for time often as well. Like say there's somebody who needed to be billed for time, just for fun. Let's go right here. Highlands Vineyard. Okay, so we did a whole bunch of stuff with Highland. Okay, if I actually went into Highlands Vineyard, one of them, just for fun. And so this one was actually assigned to. Doesn't look like it was actually assigned physically to a client. It just looks like they wrote it in Highland Vineyard. That's where they just went and did the video shoot. Okay, but if you actually wanted ones that were actually physically tied to that, you could actually go like this. Here's how I would probably do it. I would probably say customer and Highland. I'd get to here and boom, Highlands Vineyard. I'd go log, and I'd come down here. It looks to me like we've had a total of 13 that's been assigned to their particular piece of the puzzle. Okay, needs to be invoiced. One currently looks like no values have been assigned, but like I have a whole bunch of different pieces. If I hit grouped, I can actually see that a bunch of them have not had invoicing assignments. This one did, but it doesn't have a value, so I could actually go look at it and say, what's going on here? Okay, what's happening as far as like what's happening in dates, times. This was back in 2011. So just depending on what's going on, you can kind of go and search. Can I show you how Shannon uses elements of time? This is kind of fun, just for a minute. I'm going to switch corporations, and I'm going to go to one called Adilas University, which we are documenting our to-do list and tick list, okay? So basically, let's go right here for just a second. We'll go to, System, Request, Elements of Time homepage. Go get it, okay? So Shannon has been logging in a whole bunch of different little pieces of the puzzle. Watch this just for a second. Go show me what Shannon logged last month, okay? Like Shannon has been logging tons and tons, close to 2,000 different little elements of time, different pieces of the puzzle of what's going on. If you physically wanted to see something like this, say I wanted to see this particular one, 828, what's going on? One, I could click on it. It's very easy. I could say, hey, just show me this in time slot view so I can kind of read, but I can't see the notes in this particular view, okay? So watch this. I can say time, and 928, I'm going to basically mimic that date right there. 928, go get it. Here's all the notes that were actually entered on that particular date for the different pieces of the puzzle. And if I don't like all of these columns, guess what you can do inside of Adilas? Refine this search. Guess what? I don't want target date. I don't want this. I don't want that. I do want the color, the caption, the start date. Nope, 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 and nope, and nope. So basically, I'm going to keep it with the exact same piece that I already knew that it was running for a custom date, and go get it. So this is my new report. It's much cleaner, and I can scroll down it, and hey, as an idea, I know that what if you did this? You know, like we're recording tons and tons of stuff so that we can search it. And so anyway, that's just a small way that we use elements of time. I'm going to show you one more thing that might blow your mind, but this is kind of fun. We're going to go to the element of time homepage, and I'm going to show you what Shannon has done just for fun to go like this. We're going to do a custom date range, and we're going to say like this. Why don't we grab everything from the start of the year to what we have at the end of 9/30? As I give her my notebook, she records it, so it's about a week behind, but she will be constantly recording those different pieces of the puzzle. So that's going to give me a whole bunch of pieces. It's currently going to be in the calendar mode, and I'm going to hit search. Okay? So basically, it's building a calendar right now. It's going to come back. So here we go. In January, in February, in March, in et cetera, you can kind of get the idea. Like, this is not your typical calendar. Okay, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this, depending on what you need. Okay, daily task that we did in June 27th. Let's go click on it. Okay, day 3 of Logan training. We spent all morning talking about theory and concepts. Like, it basically, small cleanup. We took off the training flyer. Oh, we had to check some stuff online and like the server, and like we're documenting everything that we're doing. This is how we use elements of time. One of the cool pieces is that we have talked a couple times about how it sure would be cool if we had a photo bucket. Imagine a photo bucket for elements of time. I could actually take you into my local system and show you we're about 3/4 of the way done with that. But imagine the possibilities there. So instead of saying, not only do I have a date that's in time, what happened? Okay, we just went on a class trip. Boom, here we go. Oh, something happened. I've got this class event, and I needed everybody to sign my waivers. Sign, 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 sign. I can document the whole thing. This particular guided trip has been fully documented. Okay, your construction project, something blew up, and you went and took some pictures of it. Okay, so basically you add it as the element of time. Okay, hey, this happened today at 4 o'clock, and just so you know, here's what's going on. What if someone had a video of it? Okay, so that goes right here. Okay, this bucket is not done yet. Okay, other content, but video would be super cool to kind of be like, we went to the project, and the thing was gushing, or whatever it was. As a matter of fact, here's a little 2-minute clip of what we saw and kind of what was going on. What if you were able to attach that content to it? That would be awesome. Yeah. That would be super awesome. guess what? We have promised this other content bucket by the end of this year. So those are some of the pieces that are coming. So this other content bucket, we're talking about elements of time right now. You can see the possibilities of, oh my goodness, that would be awesome. What if you could add other content to invoices or customers or users who basically have tons and tons of HR documents and you needed to track all of these different little pieces of the puzzle. Like, basically, I hope you see this little teeny model, just little plates and cups. We use this thing over and over again in every single piece of the puzzle. Like vendors, expenses, deposits, every single thing creates an object and we just start sticking stuff into the buckets. And then we track it over time so it can kind of move. That is virtually the Adilas model. It virtually is. But that is coming, like it's 3/4 of the way done for elements of time. And that will be done by the end of the year. So we're excited to see where things are going to go. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions? We're sitting at 4 o'clock right now. I would love to go wherever you guys want, or we could kind of just do a little wrap-up review of elements of time, and then I'd love to answer questions